So today on beta, things were updated, things were touched up, things were retextured. Pretty major update. As you can see, the login screen is very, very different, and it looks awesome. Supposedly, what I've been able to follow up with and catch via tweeting back and forth and watching tweets and looking at tweets that have been going on between developers and sites like MMO Champion and Wowhead and all these other sites. Apparently the screen here, this login screen, is going to be heavily animated, which I am looking forward to seeing, but it just looks cool. It's like, it hits you like right in the nostalgia feels, just gut check. But I think it's great. I love the green, I love the red, and I think it looks super cool. It's kind of a neat little update as well. And then also, we also have an update to what I believe is the rest of the character models that we can expect to see on launch of Warlords of Draenor. Now, whether it's on launch or when patch 6.0 hits, the pre-expansion pack patch launch, I'm not sure when they're going to launch the models, but regardless, the new race models have all been updated, as well as armor texture models, which I'm really looking forward to showing you as well. So we're going to jump right in, and I'll show you guys all of that. So I don't know why it wasn't working the first time, but this is actually the fully animated, in-your-face, pow login screen. This is what we can come to expect when it comes to launching Warlords of Draenor. It looks awesome. It looks amazing. I love that effect. The swirly, spinny, yellowy, greenish, ethereal effects coming off those pillars. The portal that's just in your face. It looks amazing. And so here, as we are at our character screen now, you can see quite a bit's been updated, quite a bit's been changed. We have the updated human male models. The hair looks a little bit silly at this point, but I suppose that's okay. And again, this has just been implemented, so I would imagine that it would be retextured and polished off and kind of put the finishing touches on as we get closer and closer to launch. As you can see, the weapon has been retextured again to where the blade, at the edge of that blade there, is yellow. It looks like the new PvP models were added for the armor, because as we go through, we'll see. Shaman armor has been updated as well, and apparently it's now cool to hold your weapon underneath your arm instead of swinging it like a normal person. It's like, Blade Storm! Yeah. Shaman's with Blade Storm is a terrible idea. But again, so updates there. I would imagine the Paladin armor's been updated as well, but again, I have it transmogged, so we can't see it quite yet. If you look at the human female model, it looks like they have been updated or polished off a little bit to where they don't look like they have that deer in the headlights glazed over look anymore. They look a little more serious. They have more personality to them, and I think that's really cool. So again, it kind of gives us that impression that to back up what Blizzard has been saying the whole time, like the character models that we have in game right now, they're there, but they're not done yet. So they obviously are still polishing off and putting the finishing touches on so many of these. I mean, look at just that dramatic, like, yawn, how much personality and how much character is in just that motion, as opposed to before. It was very rocky and jagged and rugged and very unfluid, whereas now there's a lot more fluidity to it. There's the Death Knight set, and that looks awesome. I love that glowing effect there on that. Now, I don't know if these PvP sets are going to be the elite sets or just the standard PvP sets, because I know there is a difference, so I don't know which one we're quite looking at yet. And I don't know if we quite will until launch or anything like that. As again, I would imagine the priest model has been updated as well, but I have my armor transmog for the priest, so we can't quite see that yet. Same thing with the warlock armor. As you can see, like, the belt's a little bit different than before. It just hasn't been skinned yet, but the place is there. Weapons have been, again, retextured and updated. You can look inside the offhand piece that I have here, and there's like a purplish liquid in there that's moving around and stuff. Druid's armor has been skinned and set in place. Before, they just had like those red common cloth robes as a placeholder, but now we're seeing a little more detail on it, which is pretty dope. Same thing with the hunter as well. That bow still looks awesome. I don't know why it's like salivating all over the floor, but it's a cool looking bow nevertheless. It's still alive! So yeah, cool looking hunter armor. There's the new rogue set. It's really kind of bulky for a rogue. I'm not quite sure how I feel about that one, but I don't really play a rogue, so I guess my opinion is not valid anyways. And then same thing with the mage. I would imagine the mage armor has been updated as well. Let's take a look at the character creation screen, because a lot of this other stuff has been updated. Wow, that is a dwarf that has not been outside for a long time. Someone hangs out underground in Ironforge way too much. Sweet baby Jesus. Now, looking at the human males. If we go into customization, wow, that looks like Nick Cage. How's it going, Nick Cage? How you doing? Holy butts. Anyways, as you can see, very similar to the old faces that we had before, just retextured, given a little more personality. You can see the different facial structures a lot more clearly now. You can see, like, if we go down here, it's a lot more of a rounded off face, whereas we go up a little bit and it looks more like we're getting more of the thinner face and kind of the more defined jawline, different stuff like that. And obviously, like, the size of the face isn't, but the shading and the shadowing that's giving that illusion is, which is pretty cool. So we're gonna go down and look at some of this other stuff. Facial hair still looks epic. Even the clean shaven models look pretty good now. I mean, I'm partial to facial hair, but before, like, the derpiness and the 10-year-old detail of the human male model really showed back in the original skins of these characters and what we have now in live. I feel like the human males and the Tauren females are the ones that showed their age the most, and even when World of Warcraft first launched, we had these models that just looked kind of rugged, and they did not look good compared to everything else. They look kind of derpy. You see, so it just looks pretty dang good. Well done. And I would imagine the human males would probably go through maybe possibly one more touch-up just to get it ready for launch and stuff like that. But again, I don't know. But since it was just implemented now, and all the other models that had already been implemented have been updated, I wouldn't put it past Blizzard to, again, add the final touches on these. And as you can see, just the different faces on the human female, like we were talking about before, it doesn't look as empty and soulless, but it just has a lot more personality to it. So those came out really, really nice. Another thing that was added was the 9-elf males. Now, as you can see, these look not as finished as the rest of them, so I would imagine that we're going to get a little bit more of a texture update. Their shoulders and their neck look kind of like tense, like they're walking around like they're always on edge. I'm not quite sure about that. Maybe it's because the old models, their neck looked and felt so long. But again, it's nothing that makes them look completely ridiculous. But it's like something that I would expect to possibly see, you know, an update in the future for, which is kind of cool. But again, and even if they don't, still, this is leaps and bounds better than the old model, as you can see. A lot more textures on the faces. It just looks so much better. Like, again, as you can see, they look kind of hunched over, which is kind of cool. 9L female, again, has already been in, but it looks, again, like we have a little bit more of a finished product here. It looks a lot more textured, a lot more detail, a lot more personality to it. Worgen and Goblin have not been updated. Obviously, they're fairly new, so there's no need to. Blood Elf has not been updated yet, as Blizzard has stated that they're not quite ready with it yet, and we won't expect to see the Blood Elf model anyways until later on into the Warlords of Draenor expansion. Orcs, again, kind of retextured, retouched up to where they don't look as, I guess what I'm trying to say is, again, they've had the more polished up look again as well. Same with the Orc females. Tauren females, brand new. We finally have the Tauren female in the game, and as you can see, leaps and bounds better. Still kind of an awkward character model, as it's still like female cow standing up on its hind legs like a human being. I feel like even the Tauren, like male, if you think about it, is kind of an awkward thing anatomically speaking, but maybe we're just more familiar with it because of Minotaurs and all of our mythology. But I digress. Again, just such better textures you can see on those faces. Leaps and bounds better than what we have in live. Like, I think races and models like this one and the human male just go to show how far this game is coming with this update, like how necessary and how much needed this is, and how much of a good thing this is. So I think this is an awesome little update here. And then last but not least, the trolls. What do they say? Once you go troll, you never re-roll. Is that how it goes? These trolls look epic. The texture on that hair, the face, so much personality in these trolls' faces. Like, he just looks like utterly displeased with you. He's like, just stop. Like, you've been poking him one too many times, and he's about ready to like cut your arm off or something. He's like, poke me one more time. I dare you. Actually, what I think he's really saying is you should probably give this video a thumbs up. I think that's what he's saying. But again, just the hairstyles. Again, a lot more fluidity in them. You can see the motion in the hair itself. The colors, again, same colors that we have before. Same thing with the tusks. But again, as you can see, just so much personality in these faces. And I think that's awesome. Same thing with troll female. She's got a little bit of sass on that stance. I don't know. She's looking kind of sassy standing there. That's different. Different face models and textures. As you can see, just the detail around like the eyes and the textures on the face just adds so much more depth to the character's face and personality, which is pretty dope. That must take a lot of gel to get your hair to do that. Like, that's just like, whew, that's intense. Kind of a fan of that mohawk though. Looks absolutely phenomenal. So again, very a solid job updating these old models by Blizzard. Just phenomenal. I think it's awesome. Undead, everything's been updated with the undead, but we can see just the redone textures and everything looks like it's kind of more polished off and taken care of to where it doesn't look like it's quite unfinished yet. I don't know, it looks like we're getting closer and closer to what we can expect to see come launch. Just the details in the face, the bones, and different stuff like that. I think they look pretty fabulous. So yeah, that is the update to the skins and login screen. There's been some other stuff going on in game as well that we might get some footage of. But I just wanted to do as quick of a video as I could on those updated textures and models, because I'm excited, because again, as my main is a human warrior, I've been looking forward to the human male the most as far as the update to see what we look like. So it's kind of cool that they finally got some attention in that. So that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys keep tuning in for more Warlords of Draenor coverage. I'm trying to get as much as I can for this small little channel. Just kind of getting an idea for what you guys want to see. If you want to see any particular content from Warlords of Draenor, let me know and I will do my best to get it. Especially if it's PvP, class coverage, animation, different things like that. I'd love to get it out there, especially since we're such a small channel. If one person requests something or something like that, I feel like I have the flexibility to be able to do that. So I'd like to be able to do that for you guys. Also, within the next day or so, I'm going to have a new video out. Last night I hit 1800 on my main on live, which was a massive achievement for me. That is the highest rating I've ever had in any rated PvP situation. So I'm extremely excited, and I have the footage of that battle recorded, and I'm going to throw it together in a quick little highlights montage of it and have some fun with it, because that means I get to use my Grand Marshal set. I'm excited. As someone that's been playing this game since vanilla, the fact that I get a transmog and wear that armor now is kind of the coolest, like, personal thing I think I've ever achieved in this game. So it may not be a big deal to anybody else, but to me, I'm ecstatic right now. So look forward to seeing that soon, and I will see you guys next time.